being inclusive, whether it is gender or any kind of diversity, you need to be more inclusive for two reasons. One, definitely because over the years, and I can speak for India especially, and globally actually, this has been, the gender equality has never been there. We've been in a patriarchal society, So that is one. That imbalance that has happened over hundreds of years, that balance has to come back now. But more importantly, from a work point of view, let me tell you, I think, when you have gender diversity, people bring in different perspectives. Every experience, my way of looking at life, my experience is completely different from you being a woman, the way you look at life and the way you experience life. So when you have people with different diversity sitting in the same room, there are more ideas coming, there are more thoughts coming, more different views coming up. And I think there's also a healthier collaboration that happens. It is true that when there are men and women in a room, you'll see that chemistry. The collaboration is that much more. When there's only men, then you'll see there's a competitive streak there.
Are you saying women are not competitive?
No, being competitive is one thing, but I'm saying when you have both in the same room, the chances are probably you put all the women in one room, it may be a similar situation. But when you have both people in the same room, I found, but there's better collaboration when you have, and also better ideas, better views, different perspectives that come to the same table.
Right. So, do you think you're a male ally to the feminist discourse?
I don't know whether I'm a male ally to a feminist discourse, but I genuinely feel strongly about it. And more so now that I have two daughters, and probably they are the ones who are educating me, to be very honest. I wasn't like this, say, 10 years ago or 15 years ago. Maybe subconsciously I did things, but now I'm consciously doing things. I'm being aware of it. I'm mindful of my choice of words. I am spread this awareness, because end of the day, I think whether it not necessarily for the gender equality or something, any good thing, I think one way of making sure that the world becomes a better place is for people to bring in awareness. Bring in awareness, and you as an individual can contribute it in your own little way. So this is one thing which in my own little way, I'm trying to contribute.
Right. So, that, when men talk, other men listen, right? So that's how it's largely is. So what would you tell other men when they are invited to all male, say, panels? What would you say they can do differently? How should they call it out? And what does the visual representation of like a panel of 13 men sitting and giving their opinion, and often on subjects that affect every gender, right? So what would you tell other men and advise to do things differently? How should they do things
First of all, I disagree with you when you say when men say men listen. I say when women speak, also men listen.
Okay.
You ask any husband, he'll tell you that. No, but on a serious note, even when women speak, men listen. But there aren't enough women in position of power or women in leadership positions to speak. That's the challenge. But when a woman speaks, men listen. If anybody tells you that men don't listen, I don't agree with that. Men listen, and they will listen. But the thing is, what I would tell other men when I see, and to be honest, and I'm guilty of it. Till my daughter pointed it out to me, it didn't even cross my mind. So I was on enough panels, seeing my little picture with other men, and I felt great about it. It never occurred to me, not once did it occur to me saying, hey, there are no women in this panel. It didn't, right? So, but somebody made me aware. Right. And once somebody made me aware, in my own little way, I'm trying to make the world aware of. So today, what I would tell the other men is, first of all, see, I can't tell somebody what to do and what not to do, but I can definitely sensitize them, make them aware on why it is important. And I've done it. I've done it with I was called on a webinar just a few days ago, and I saw it was all after accepting. Okay, and this happened after accepting. And then suddenly, this whole thing came to my head, and I said, "Oh shit! Let me go and check who I'll speak. Maybe I'll drop out because of this reason." And he said, "No, we had uh, two women who had confirmed, or three women who had confirmed, but they dropped out at the last moment. I don't know what to do." But he apologized right in the beginning. He apologized to the audience, saying, "This is the reason we don't have it." And he said, "I will apologize. I promise you," and things like that. So I said, "Fine. I mean, you can't, change can't happen overnight. It happens slowly and slowly and slowly. As long as it happens and it's moving the right direction, maybe it isn't happening at the speed and at which it should happen. It's still very slow process. But I think if the mindset changes, and it will happen." And so what I would tell other men is, I put out a tweet, that. But I would tell other men also is, be aware of this and ask your host to find women. And sometimes, the host comes back and says, "Oh, listen, no women agreed to come on the panel." Then I think what you should do is, you should recommend people. You should say, "Listen, absolutely, I think Rituparna would be a good person for you to invite on this. Absolutely. I can speak to her. I'll help you get her on the panel." So that is what you need to do.